Today record on REC. Word. Hey guys, sorry it's been so long since we made our last video. I've had a lot going on. Honestly though, not enough to excuse 5 months of not putting up a video. Sorry about that. We're gonna get on the ball, I promise. But what we're gonna do today, we're gonna look at a new marsh fly we've come up with. And what we did was we came up with a fly that did two things. One, it's easy to cast. Two, it gets to the bottom quickly. Now that doesn't always go hand in hand together. Easy to cast and gets to the bottom quickly. What we're looking for is a redfish pattern with a lot of natural movement, a good size to it, but I can present it fast. Because what happens is in the marsh, you don't have a lot of clear water. It's muddy, you know? And a lot of times you're like, oh look, redfish. It's right there. You don't have these, you know, during the winter we'll have these long shots where you're like, oh, there's redfish over there. Doesn't happen this time of year. So what I did was, I kind of took a look at a lot of patterns, and I looked through bonefish patterns, permit patterns, and some of the patterns I used successfully for redfish down here. And what I came up with was called a Whatsit Crab. And really what I did is I combined a bonefish special, a crimp, and a quan fly. Okay, so here's what it looks like. From right here, you've got old school quan. Right here I did the bonefish special. A similar fly to it would be the crimp by McKnight. Cool looking fly, but I kind of added a lot of other elements to it that you don't find in it. You can check out on the Yellow Dog's page for YouTube, you can see McKnight tying the crimp. So it's two different kinds of flies. His is really well made, very cool, very simple. I just kind of put a redfish spin on it. I'm doing this one. The one I'm doing on the video is right here. It's tied on a size 2 Gamakatsu SC15 hook, and I added some extra flash to it. After a couple trips to the marsh, I found that flashier is better because of how muddy it is right now. So we're going to see a flashier version. It's a good size fly. It's got a lot of movement. Take a look at it. Let me know what you think, guys. Okay guys, today we're going to work on what I've come to call the Whatsit Crab. It's a fly I developed for fishing down here in the marsh lately. It gives me a lot of, well, there's two big properties that I really wanted out of it. I wanted a nice general pattern, something that kind of looked like a little bit of everything, and the next thing it had to do was be able to get to the bottom quickly and yet still be easy to cast. So we're going to start from the top. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put on our dumbbell eyes. I'm not a big fan of lead dumbbell eyes, and I'll tell you why. I've used them for years and I was never satisfied with them because of the fact that it's so easy to knock the paint off. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some ordinary pseudo eyes. I'm going to use the green color because it kind of reminds me of a shrimp. You can use red, green, whatever makes you happy. I don't think the redfish care too terribly much. I've never had an in-depth conversation with them, so I could be wrong. Alright, so I'm going to put it on top of the thread bump. Pull it nice and tight. Come around this way with it. What I'm doing is I'm figure eighting it. I come around. I come across the bottom like this, and nice and tight. So make sure it's not going anywhere. If you want to now, you can add a little bit of loom. And add just a hair of loom, real quick. Good deal. Now the kind of hook we're using SC15 Gamakatsu 2/0. And for you guys, a lot of folks are going 2/0, that's a bit much. But I found that it helps to hook them, hold them a little bit better. The first thing we're going to add is some tan craft fur. I like to use the extra select because it's easier to trim off than it is to add to. Cut off a clump real fast. It's not an exact science, just a good size little clump. So I got a clump about like that. Trick with craft fur is when you do it, grab here about the midsection, pull out the guard fibers. you use the same technique for deer hair. Pull it out, away you go. Now for this, I don't want a humongous fly, but I do want one that's going to have a lot of motion, so I'm going to take a look, and I want it to be basically 1/2 length. Boom. Right here. I'll start at the base, wrap over, a few loose wraps, I'll grab here in the middle, tighten everybody up, get everybody in line, make sure everybody's doing what they ought to. Now if you notice, my crab fur is tipped down, and that's there for a reason. This way when those lead eye hit the bottom, it's going to push and make it look like that's all standing up at attention real nice. I'm going to trim off our excess and let it roll. Let's get everything up nice and neat real quick. Next thing we're going to add is a little bit of flash. Now I like to go ahead, when I'm using craft fur, I like to use, you can use crystal flash, which looks really nice, but I like to use flashabou. This is just good old fashioned gold flashabou. I'm just going to pull out a mess of it. Just remember with redfish, the more flash the better. Alright, put it in, just like so. You know, some kind of wiggling it around, and all of them are at a different length, which is good. I'll take here, go here, 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 on down, and I'm kind of changing up the length that I'm cutting everybody. And the reason for this is it gives it more of a shimmery effect, because the light tends to catch on the end of the flashabou. So that's been added. We're going to do another clump of the craft fur. Good old fashioned kiss method here. Boom. Alright, a nice little tight little clump. Pull out my guard fibers. And check to make sure everything's on point. Make sure we're looking about the same. I'm going to go ahead, tie it off. Now I kind of want this to kind of overlap, so I'm going to push my fingers down like that, and that kind of encapsulates everything. Bring it down nice and tight. Get everybody in order. And once everybody's doing right, what we're going to do, we'll just trim off the excess. Nothing too complicated. Nothing crazy. There we go. Very nicely done. Get everybody, you know, some kind of picking it up, making sure everything is where I want it, and then tighten everybody down. There we go. So now we got a nice little natural bit of flash. So if you're not in a marsh area where you don't need a super lot of flash, you're still good to go. I'm going to grab the old trusty Sharpies real fast. You can do orange and brown, or you can just use brown. I'm going to use orange and brown. Start with your orange first. The reason you do the orange first is the orange, it's a nice little dash, but when you go back behind it with the brown, and if you overstep the brown a little bit, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to go over just a little bit into the orange. Boom. Boom. Come on down. I'm going to kind of bring the camera a little bit to the left. There we go. So now you have a better idea of what we're doing. Good deal. Everybody's in line. Next step is we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of good old fashioned hackle. A little brown, a little ginger, work just fine. Natural ginger. Or excuse me, this is natural brown, I apologize. And you want, let me pull a couple out real fast. You can alternate up your colors if you want to. Like you might want to use orange, root beer, or whatever. But the natural brown does give me some differences in the color. It's easy to do. Or you can do a little something different. And I'm just going to adjust a hair of Palmer's chenille. Just make sure it's about the same length as the feather so everybody stays in order. Now, as to how flashy you want it, that determines where you add the Palmer's chenille. I'm going to straighten everybody out real quick. Lay it down. Get everybody in order. I've learned that if I tie the Palmer's chenille on first, I'm better off. Makes my day a little bit easier. Now, I'm not using schlaffen, but I'm using a pretty good sized piece of saddle hackle. Certainly nothing you'd ever use to tie a dry fly with. Got it? Pull the fibers out. And I just go ahead and get it right about here because I want a good size. I only want to make a couple quick wraps, so I want my fibers to be a pretty good size. Because remember, what you're doing right here in wrapping is going to take away from what you're going to do in the body. Let's get everybody in order. Everybody the same length. Perfect. 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 Now, I'm going to go ahead and grab some hackle pliers. Clip everybody together. And come on around. Around the hook. Pull everybody around nice and tight. There we go. Come around again. Just get everybody in order. And make sure everybody's staying together. There we are. Got a nice little dab of color. Beautiful. And boom. Pull all your fibers to like that. Be in good shape. There you are. Come up a little bit. Get this off. Good to go. Now, I'm actually going to kind of play with this a little bit. Take it. Nail it down. And make sure I'm getting the most out of it. I'm going to take it and pull on it. Kind of tease it out some. Because your fibers get locked underneath the Palmer's chenille sometimes. Pull it back. Nice and tight. There we are. Perfect. It gives me a nice profile. Got a little bit of color without overwhelming everybody. See what I've done? Got a nice profile, but nobody feels overwhelmed. So that's good. Now then, go ahead and get everything. I should kick it. Use my foot to kick. That's awesome. Alright. Now, I'm going to go ahead. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of body segment right here. So I'm going to change the color up. Alright, now, as you guys know, I like to use clear thread, so I can just use whatever I want. Now that I've got everybody in order, I'm going to go ahead and add my body a little bit of color. A lot of people in your saltwater flies, like your quan flies or whatever else, they like to use a bright green thread, which is pretty cool. I'm down with that, but I'm pretty partial to using the clear thread I have. And the reason I like that is because the size of my heads of my flies are small, and I feel like it keeps everything neater. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to take some crystal flashabou, and I'm sure there's a better name for it somewhere. I'm going to grab my hackle pliers up, and we're going to do some wrapping. I just have to do this one by hand. Trick is, make a nice wrap. Go them back. Keep everybody pulled back like that. All your fibers back out of the way. Keep coming. There we are. Now we're in good shape. Keep it coming. Doing good, doing good. Bring it on around. Got a nice little bit of color. For not a lot of work. And like I said, this may be, if you're fishing somewhere where you've got a lot of gin clear water and you want something that's not very obtrusive, you know, this may not be what you want to do. You may just want to go back to doing it the way we've been doing it forever and ever. Amen. Just using a green thread of some sort. Alright, perfect. Got everybody wrapped in nice and tight. Go back over it, a couple of quick wraps. My clear thread. And I've got that nice green iridescence that you sometimes find on, say, like a mantis shrimp. Because I'm going over with the clear thread, it's not a big deal. So, got a nice clean body, added a little bit of extra color to it. Now the next thing we're going to do, we're going to flip it, and then we're going to start doing the next section. The next section for with flipping it is we're going to add the body. So flip it on over. Make sure this is staying good for you guys. Bring this down. Clean up my work area. Okay. Now instead of using craft fur this time, we're going to be using EP fiber. I'm just going to use one color, just the tan. Just tan. Cool thing about doing it this way instead of using different colors is it's faster. And with redfish, they'll tear up a fly super fast, so you probably don't want to really use something that's taking you a humongous amount of time on them. I'm not saying, you know, don't enjoy time, more interesting patterns, but it's up to you, man. Whatever you want to do. Alright, I'm back over, doubling it on up. Nice manageable clumps. Everybody the nice, same uniform length. Come back through. Trim everybody off real nice. Okay. Perfect. This is way, way longer than I'll be planning on using. But like I said, I can always trim it off. I can't add to it once it's on there, but I can always trim it off. So, grab a clump off real fast. I don't want it to be especially thick of a clump. Okay. Take it, set it to the base. One wrap over. Just nice wrap that helps me set it to where I want it. I'm going to come across it the other way. The reason I'm going to do it the other way is because that helps to anchor it in its position. Perfect. You make your first couple wraps carefully and slowly. Really good shape. Now pull it back. Get it out of my way. And then I'll add on the leg. You can use silly legs or just about whatever you like. I am going to use rubber legs. And the reason I like the rubber legs is, to be honest with you, they just last longer. I'm going to grab 3 of them off real quick, and I'm using brown and green. There we go. Alright, perfect. And we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to bring it just as far back as we can on here. And the rubber leg's going to want to, it's not going to want to hold that tying thread on there. So, one thing you can do is just go ahead and bring it over as though it were flash. This lets you set it where you want it. There we go. Do the same thing again. Come to the other side with it. Alright. Same thing again. There we go, perfect. And coming on around. Now then, what I'm going to do now is once I pull this back, I'll grab my legs up, pull them on back, just like so. On each side of the hook, like that, and I'm going to tighten it up. Alright. Now guys, what I'm going to go ahead and do is, because this is about the most boring and least enjoyable part of this pattern, I'm going to go ahead and complete the fly up to here. So what I'm going to do is EP fiber leg, EP fiber leg. So there's 3 legs and then about 4 sections of EP fiber. Once I'm done with that, when I get to the trimming stage, we'll get back. Alright guys, so this hot mess is what you get after putting everybody else on there. Alright. And come on forward with it. Alright, so what you got basically is 4 sections of the EP fiber and 3 pieces, 1, 2, 3 of the barred rubber leg. I'm going to flip it over, bring it up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my rubber legs down like so, and then so I've done that. Take my hackle pliers and pinch them off. That's just going to keep everybody out of the way. Now I'm going to turn. There you go. Get the body. I don't want anything super huge. Just the size of a good marsh corn. Okay. See if you guys can see that a little bit better. I'm trying not to cut off any of the barred rubber legs. Done that before, that was awesome. Okay. You can either leave it a little bit messy like this if you want to, if you want a bigger profile, or you can kind of tighten it up. I'm just going to kind of pull out any stray fibers I can from around the back. Flip the pattern over a couple times and make sure I've got all the mess up. And by the way, if you guys are looking for a nice cheap pair of scissors that does a good job, I found these. These are from Orvis. It's their cheapest scissors they have, and it does a really good job. And I don't have any affiliation with Orvis, but if Orvis feels like me repping their brand is worth their advertising dollars, I completely agree. So let me trim this up, kind of tighten it up, and I'll show you the next step. I want to kind of show you guys something for a minute. I used all one color, and a lot of you, if you've ever watched my videos, know that I like to have some variation and everything. So what I'm going to do is make this easy with a quick use of a Sharpie. I can go ahead and give it that coloration. Just like so. Come over the other way. Bring my legs over. Do the same thing on the other side. Gives it just a nice little bit of color. It's easy to do. It's easy to work with. I don't have to worry about putting in different random varying colors of anything. It's just nice, quick, nice and kiss method, and rolling. Now, one thing I want to kind of stress real quick is when you're tying these kinds of flies, don't make the mistake of over trimming at this stage. Wait till the whole fly is completed, then go back in and do whatever trimming you think is necessary to the fly. Alright, now we're going to add what I feel like is one of the most crucial parts of the fly. And for me, the reason I feel that it is one of the most crucial parts of the fly is that this is what separates this fly from just say like a crazy leggy looking coin fly, right? I'm going to come back with my crab fur. Cut off a nice little clump. Nothing big, smaller than what we did last time. And add it to the fly. Like you would a clouser minnow. Just like you would a clouser minnow. Come full of guard fibers. And I'm going to set it up against, and I want it to be just about the same length, or a hair shorter than the back. Okay. Take it. A couple nice loose wraps. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just get everything anchored where we want it. Pull down nice and tight. And away we go. Just like so. Boom. Easy as pie. Now, where beforehand. Okay, so. Now the next step, and a little gold, a little bit of red, crystal flash. The red shows through really well, so you want like a 2-to-1 ratio. Otherwise the red is just going to completely overwhelm the gold. So if you've got 4 strands of gold, and it's fairly obvious, you'd only want 2 strands of the red. I'm just going to kind of twist it around my fingers and take it, put it underneath, like so, fold it over, bring it up, set it wherever I need to, like so, wrap up into it nice and tight. Bring everybody together. Like so. A little wiggle woggle. So everybody's on point. There we are. Perfect. Now we're going to trim it up. Good deal. Just remember, it's not an exact science, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Last little bit of the craft fur real fast. Dun, 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 dun. A little clump. Pull it out. Get all my guard hairs out. I don't want a large amount of craft fur. Just enough. The idea is that you don't want the stubbled up craft fur up here to overwhelm the rest of the fly. So I'm going to take it, same as we did on the body section. We're forming this wing right here. We don't want it to overwhelm. Just like so. Alright. Sure everything's on point. Tighten it up. Trim off my excess. And boom. There we are. What's up, princess? You need some more juice? Okay. Alright, the next step. This is, to me, probably the most important part. We got all of our craft fur and crystal flash. Everything's in line. Everything's going to line up the way we want it. Now, the big part is this. This is really what gives it the panache. I found that this Whiting's Bugger Pack right here of barred hackle does an amazing job. Now, what I like about it is in the same pack, I've got everything I need for big streamers right here, like this, or by the same token, I've also got the really small stuff I need. So, what I'm going to do is, I need 2 for each side. So I'm going to pull 2 small ones off. Alright, beautiful. Alright, so what I'm looking at is basically only about this big. It is really small. I mean, this is, this is like you tie a dry fly with. Okay, so we got that. Tie it on. We want to make sure it's at the same length. Maybe a hair shorter. Alright. Just lay it on. Like so. Nice loose couple wraps. Like so. And grab 2 of the same again. Right. 2 nice pieces of hackle. We're going to do the same thing again. Clip it off. I'll make sure that my barring is in line with one another. Okay. Alright. Once I've got that, check the length. Pull off what I don't need. Put everybody in order. Set against the fly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push down against right there. A couple nice loose wraps. 2, 3. Nice loose wraps. We're going to tighten everybody up. Then trim off the excess stalks. And my wing on my Whatsit Crab is completed. And boom, that's your fly. Simple to do. Once you've tied one, you'll be able to tie them really fast. I'm just going to tie it off. And then what I'm going to do next is after I'm going to look at it, make sure the balance is right, trim where need be. Trim your legs however you want to. You know, just look at it. If it looks right, it'll fish right. You'll be fine. Guys, thanks for watching. Alright guys, hope you liked the video. It's easy to do, it's easy to follow. It's a long video because there's a lot of different tying techniques we haven't looked at before. So, like I said, take a look at it, fast forward through it, pick out the parts you need, what you don't need. You can probably look at it and go, oh, I know how to tie that. If you do, awesome. If not, that's what the video's here for. Probably going to be more delays in making videos. I'm going to try to get a few out in rapid succession. April and I are finally tying the knot. In October 25th, if you're in Mobile, hit us up to meet our food. If not, I understand. It's expensive. I'm down with that. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you later. And check us out on lostangler.com. We're going to be updating that too. Shannon just got himself a new kayak, so hopefully I can con him into doing a review. So we'll catch you later. Thanks for watching.